see me looking down during the live, it's because Lila's down here in the seat in her swing. But how is everyone doing today? I'm excited to talk to everyone. This is Thrive Over Survive, the weekly live for tips and advice for surviving your everyday life, either business, personal, and I am going solo today. No guest speaker, even though we've had some amazing guest speakers in the last month. It's crazy to think it's already June. We are entering the last month of the second quarter, which is just insane, I feel like. And it's the first month, so I'm always reflecting of how the month before went and doing some evaluations. Maybe I should make that one of the topics. I'm actually going to write that down as we're talking about it. But if you're joining live or joining for the replay, we're going to talk about planning to take time off. I'm going to do another live later in the month to talk about crisis proofing your business. So that's if something were to happen, you have to take unexpected time off. What does that look like? So this is all about planning to take time off. And I feel like this is a great topic. If you join me live for my maternity leave recap, a lot of this will be similar in the sense, but I'm specifically talking about this now because it's summer. A lot of my friends and a lot of my clients and a lot of my people in my network are talking about adjusting their schedules for the summer because most of the women I talk to or work with are mompreneurs. So they have families at home, or their kids are done with school, and maybe they have activities that they need to be taking their kids to, or they just want to spend more time with their kids, or people are planning for week-long or a couple week-long vacations. I know maybe we got to take a few mini vacations in May. Well, I took a couple mini vacations in May. Zach didn't get to go on my bachelorette trip, obviously, nor did the girls, but they had fun doing a staycation in Pittsburgh. But we're going to talk about planning for and intentionally taking time off from our business, because you should be able to take time off in your business if you want, because just because you're the CEO of your business doesn't mean you can't build a business that's in alignment with you and your life and how you want it to run. And you don't have to take a dip in revenue as well. That was something I talked about in my live event, breaking down my maternity leave. I did not dip in the first quarter, even being on maternity leave. I actually had steady growth. Second quarter, I've actually dipped, but that was an intentional dip of resetting, reevaluating, restructuring a lot of things, and I'm working on a lot behind the scenes of creating digital products and creating other streams of revenue for my business. And I think I realized that for operations people specifically, first and last quarter of the year is just very hectic. I feel like that's the time everyone's thinking about their systems, everyone's thinking about their operations, their internal structures. So those are just tend to be the busiest time for me. So now I can take some intentional time. I'm restructuring my workflows a little bit so I can have a little bit more flexibility in my business. That's what these new offers are going to allow me to have. So I was planning so that I can take more time off. Originally, I did this last summer. I did it again, or I'm going to be doing it again. And pretty much my rule of thumb with clients, especially my retainer clients, is that I don't work on Fridays. I don't communicate unless it's like a launch or previously planned. It's usually a one-off that I'm working on Fridays. Or if I've like restructured a couple of my days to, like if I take a day or two off in the middle of the week due to like family court, or if I'm sick or something and I just want to catch up. So it's like all in my decision. But typically I'm not working Fridays, and especially in the summer, I want to be able to take Charlotte and Lila to the zoo because we have a zoo membership, or we have a pool in the backyard. So I want to be able to undividedly like just give them my attention for the day. I'll do CEO work in the morning. But even now I'm pushing a lot of that CEO work into the week. And so the question for a lot of people is, how do you structure your week? We've talked about that here before on Thrive Over Survive. But now we're going to talk about, really fully owning the CEO role and taking this elusive time off, because everyone seems to be so afraid at one point to take time off in their business. So the first point is you need to believe that you can take the time off. You have to really truly want to and change that mindset of, instead of thinking I can't take the time off, my business is going to crumble, or there's no way I can do this, because that's definitely how I felt before I went on maternity leave. I was like, there's no way I can make the right hires. There's no way I can find a plan that my clients are going to be comfortable with. And I was just so closed off to any ideas that once I changed that mindset and I started working with my mentor that I'm working with now, I really changed that idea, and that led to the possibility of me being able to take so much time off for my maternity leave without losing my revenue, because I was open to the possibility and I was actively searching for, okay, I need to create a plan for my clients so that they're well taken care of, their businesses are thriving, my business is going to thrive while I'm on maternity leave. So that actually led to me having a conversation with a friend of mine who ended up unknowingly to me at the time of that conversation was her agency subcontracted work for women going on maternity leave. It's not something she advertised. It's not something she talks about a lot, but they do it. Her and I actually had gotten on the phone to talk about hiring based on personality types, because that's where my mindset was I'm going to make these hires. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make sure the SOPs are in place. And I'm going to train them as best I can before I'm out on maternity leave. And if anything, I was going to just manage my team while being on maternity leave, and I would be able to answer Slacks for them and things like that. But it ended out working itself out that, my friend was able to bring her team in and help me with a lot of less training. So I could put some of those hires on the back burner so that I could do them more intentionally. I didn't have to feel rushed. I could find the right fit. I could really define the roles that I wanted in my business for that team. So really believing that you can, and having that open mindset of, my business is going to be fine without me. I can take the time off. I'm not going to lose my revenue. Just like believing that and having that faith in yourself and having that mindset is going to be the first step you need to start planning for taking time off. And then the second thing is really, what do you want your schedule to be? This is really for my service providers and coaches. What does your schedule look like that you want it to be? Like, do you want to take Mondays off? Do you want to take Fridays off? Or do you want to have a 4-hour work week? Or 4-hour work week is a book, but a 4-hour work day. A friend of mine, Alicia, I don't know if she's on here. Alicia, if you watch the replay, she is posting every day about how she's done it after 4 hours of work, she's doing it. It's very inspiring to see people talking about taking time off in a non like, oh, I'm taking time off, I'm going on this awesome trip. No, she's just living her life, having fun, finding that balance between business and personal life. So really, what do you want your schedule to look like? For me, I want to only have to really work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then a little bit on Thursdays. But I really want to save Thursdays for VIP days and or strategy sessions, and then save Monday through Wednesday for my retainer clients. So I had to plan ahead of time, like that's what I want my schedule to be. Now I need to make sure my offers can match what the schedule is that I want to work. If they're my past offers that I was offering, some of them did not fit into this, and if they didn't, how I analyzed, okay, what do I need to change? How can I make this fit into the schedule that I want to work? And then once I realized, okay, these were the parts of the offer that didn't fit or didn't feel in alignment, I switched it, or I had to make some communication changes to my current retainer clients. We're saying like, hey, this is my updated communication policy. This is effective as of, a reasonable time for me. A lot of my clients already knew I don't work Fridays, but there were some newer clients that I had to talk this this is my communication policy. This is when you can get a hold of me. This is how long you can expect a turnaround time. So this is specifically more for my service providers, sometimes for coaches as well. This is a good practice if you're, you have one-on-one coaching, or if you have a group program and you need to adjust, your calls and things like that. It's just like the courtesy of giving people a heads up to communicate your new schedule, what you want to be working. If you're like, Emma, there's no way I can take this time off. Even with this new schedule or the schedule I want to work and I think I can make it happen, there's just all these things on my to-do list that need to get done in order for my business to run. There's more work than I have than is available. Like, there's more work you have than you have time. Then you should analyze whether or not the things on your to-do list, dump them out. Are they reoccurring? Are they one-off things? The reoccurring things, could you group a lot of those tasks together to create a role in your business and hire out for those tasks? And what time frame would that look like? Do you have the SOPs in place? If not, can you make a couple of videos, even if they're not perfect SOPs, videos and training documents, assets, templates, all of those are perfect, even while you perfect the process. So if you need to make a hire, analyzing like what that role would look like, get some quotes, find out, pricing, what's your budget look like, because you really can make the hire. I know it's very scary to make a first hire or add someone on, but you will want to make sure you need to analyze if you have a new hire, and can you put your lead, your pipeline, like your sales pipeline, your lead magnets, is there ways to automate that? So can you work it into your promo? Are you putting it on Pinterest? What are some evergreen ways to continue to fill your sales pipeline so you don't feel like you're going to miss out on any leads or any sales? Is it easy to buy from you? Those are some of the things to evaluate as well when you're taking time off, because you don't want to be the bottleneck in your business. Usually if you feel like I can't leave my business, it's going to go off the rails without me. Usually that's a true sign of there's a bottleneck somewhere in your business, and that is not sustainable. It's not scalable. A lot of the clients that I work with, that's what we are looking for. We're looking to identify what the bottlenecks are, what's holding their business back. And sometimes it happens to be they need a third party like myself to come in with a fresh set of eyes, or who has a background in operations and systems to help them piece those gaps together. So do you have an evergreen way to get new leads? Are you nurturing those leads? And now if you're thinking, oh, I don't have any of this in place, well, you can set aside time on a CEO day and knock out a couple of these tasks. Once you identify what they are, it's easier to get them done than feeling like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed, I can't get this done, there's no way I can do all this. If you just dedicate some time to it, and maybe you don't take your full, maybe like you don't start taking these days off next week. Maybe you're like, I'll work up to it. I'll take one day off here or a couple hours off here, and start slowly adjusting your schedule to make it look like what you want. But by having these things in place, defining a schedule, defining communication policy, outsourcing some things, creating SOPs, making your leads and I don't know why I'm tripping up over this statement, but your sales pipeline, by filling up your nurture system, like your nurture community, bringing in new people, or just talking and refreshing with old people, and constantly nurturing your connections on an autopilot way, is going to help you stay top of mind, make sure that you can take that time off and without missing a beat. Those are like some of the key ways to feel more comfortable when you're taking time off, because even though you've reduced the amount of time you're working, you can still get a lot done by bringing on people and or batching your tasks as well when you're maybe taking off for the summer and the kids are potentially home. And sometimes it looks like being a little more flexible. I know with Charlotte being home and then with adding Lila into the mix, I had to make adjustments to how I was working, and I just had to get over some of my own things of, I can't do this with the girls home. No, I could do it. I just had to do it in a different way than maybe I was doing it before. And also not feeling so guilty about taking certain calls or being on a call with them. If you're on a call with me, there's more than likely chance that I'm feeding Lila or holding her, or we're going to have to open up a snack for Charlotte, or mute myself in the middle to break up a fight between Charlotte and the dog. But it's life, it happens. My clients, my network connections, they all understand, and it's not that I'm giving them any less of my attention or any of my time. I truly do want to help them. I do want to serve them. It's just sometimes I have to pause and mute myself. But there's different ways around it, and there's more than one way to skin a cat, I guess you could say. So maybe challenge yourself to look for an alternative way to do some of the tasks that maybe you're used to doing, if you're looking to take some extra time off. So if you're interested in learning more, make sure you follow or share this with a friend if they're looking for these tips. I'm going to be going over a couple of other topics, like crisis proofing your business. So how do we prep this stuff for not planned time off, or if you have unexpected time off, how you can crisis proof your business. We'll be going into a little bit deeper of the same topics, but it's trying to look ahead for things that could potentially come up in your business and making sure you're not bottlenecking. So we'll go into more details about bottlenecks and potential bottlenecks that can happen in your business. And then we'll be going over a couple different topics this summer. I feel like it's never too late to start planning for this stuff, because even if you don't get to take all the time off that maybe you wanted this summer because you're like, I didn't have any of this stuff in place, well, now you do. And then when holidays roll around and you're like, I want to take more time off, then you can, and you have all the structures in place for your business. So it is worth it to take a little extra time to set this stuff up, make sure you have the structure in place, hire people out so that you can have that flexibility in your life that you want because of your business. So if you're watching the replay, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought was the most insightful or something that you can implement today. I'd love to hear from you. So, and I can't wait to talk to you guys again next week. And I hope you're having a fantastic week.